Just like to say thank you very much from my heart for what you've done for me tonight. I'm overcome by everything, it's too much. But I've got practices now, as you know. And bucket is going to get me. I'd like to tell you a few stories about why I'm a Nondi. I first came to East Africa in 1969 by accident. I worked for the Water Research Centre in England, and I went in on a Monday morning one day in May 1969. And Dr. Allen left a note on my desk, Richard, come and see you when you get in. It's a bit late for work as usual Monday mornings. 9:30 I went to see Dr. Allen, he said, "Look, Paul, there's a problem here. My boss has had an accident. You're supposed to go to Uganda next Friday, can you go instead?" I said, "I can't go on Friday, I'll play rugby on Saturday, boy." Anyway, to cut a long story short, that was my good luck, because Harry had an accident caused by his wife. His wife caught him in bed with somebody. Harry ended up in Battle Hospital in intensive care. I won't go into the history of that, but anyway. Alan Pago referred to that tonight when he spoke about why coming to East Africa. I came to Uganda, I was given £100 travelling allowance to buy clothes, so I went up to Slack with Scooter in London, bought myself a DJ and a Spiff helmet. I seen Humphrey Bogart film. So that was it. I arrived in Uganda with my pith helmet and my DJ, etc. Soon got my eyes open. I worked for the United Nations in Uganda. The first person I met was Fozzie, as he said. Didn't sell me a Ford, he sold me a clapped out bloody Porsche. A 92726 Porsche. It's a good car. Thanks, Fozzie. He got me playing rugby. I had a bug in my hand actually playing rugby. He got me playing rugby for Kampala, and we played in Parla. Parla were the big heroes at the time. We beat them. I remember we beat them up in the Prize Cup final 1969. Great win. So when I came to leave Uganda after about a year, the UN asked me if I'd stay on and lecture at the university. So I stayed at the university and lectured in engineering to 12 town engineers in Uganda. And I only got into power on January the 26th, 1971, and killed two. Bastards killed two of my students. So the UN pulled me out of Uganda, and I came back to the Water Research Centre, and I was given a job to speak at the Open Day about water supplies in East Africa, about how they're built by the British and how they're still a good thing. So speaking this bash, this chap came up to me and said, "We've got a job in Kenya, mate, Mombasa water supply. Do you want to come out and do it?" I said, "Yeah." When did I leave? So I arrived back in Uganda on June the 6th, 1971. I was met by Rob Rowland and Mike Andrews at the airport. Didn't know any Nondis at the time, apart from John Lloyd, Pine Walsh, and Peter Lee. But Nondis were the club where everybody loved to socialise. So I said, "Look, I'm coming back here, I'm going to join Nondis." And Rob Rowland was upset with me at the time, because they wanted. So I joined Nondis along with Pat Orr, I played with Richmond, and Dave Allenson, I played with Rosslyn Park. So we had a good side. We had 5 Evanses. Bruce, bless him, good scrum half. David, great fly half, scrum half. Rod, good number 8. His brother Peter was a bugger. Michael was a good kicker. 5 Evanses. And Kid Evans was another Evans and myself. So we had the 7 Evanses and the 7s team. But the Lions and the Tigers were the hardest games we had. The London was so strong those days, they had to split this club up into 2 sides. 5 Evanses played for the Lions, and us buggers played for the Tigers, and I was a Tiger. They were the hardest games we had. I remember David Evans trying to whack me once, and never forget I was there. But it was good rugby, good fun. And Nondis went over for many years. It's a great captain. Rick Richards, Rob Torrington, etc. Rob was captain. That's why there's no photographs 2 years in a row, because the new museum. Thank you for that, chaps. New museum, because Robert doesn't have photographs taken. Refused to have photographs taken. But Nondis was a great club, and bless them for 100 years. They deserve every honour they're going to get. Got a few notes here, I must have notes. Okay, 100 years. I've started a new blog, I'll refer to, sorry, I refer to, it's actually a website called Live to Be. I'm going to live to be 100 years old. I intend to do that. If you copy of the blog, just look up https:// www.livetotbe.com. 100yearsold.com. Go on to that and you'll find out what I'm trying to do at the moment for my health. Working very hard to do things there for my health and other people's health. I'm going to write a book shortly. I've read 51 books since COVID started. COVID's really earned this Parkinson's. I can now walk better than I could before. Still want to kill this bloody disease. If I don't do anything else before I'm 100 years old, I'm going to be 100. First 25 years of my life. First 15, 16 years of my life, I worked for the World Bank. It's amazing. The second 20 years I did, 25 years, with that is homegrown. We started Flamingo Holidays, etc. 26 years. Finished that in 2007 when I got sick, sold that business. And I built the 2 hotels you know, Hemingway's here and the coast, plus of course, on the camp in Namara. And for the last part of my life, I'm going to start, I'm going to live to be 100 years old. I'm going to teach people how to attack dementia, etc. You can attack this. Promise you. Promise you. Take a bit of spirit. A guy called Gundry's the guy I'm going to watch. Gundry's a hell of a bloke. But I'm going to live to be 100 years old, so I'll be here in the next 24 years to watch him. I think that's it. Just like to say a few thank yous, especially to the team that put this together, Lau and Andrew especially, Ross, etc. See Simon Shaw and Co on the TV was brilliant. Great boy, big Nondi, you've been for Nondescripts, born in East Africa, born in Nairobi or somewhere. Simon Shaw. Oh, Infidel, good boy. So I'm trying to build a stadium in Cornwall for the Pirates, haven't got that sorted yet either. That's another job. I'd like to say thank you to everybody for organising this tonight. Brilliant do. Thank you team. Really broken hearted about what I saw tonight about the museum. From my heart, chaps. Well done. Thank you very much indeed.